It's just the way that you love me. It's just the way that you care.
Welcome to Stan Watson Show. Your host, Stan Watson. Thank you again for tuning into our live call-in show tonight. Remember, call us at 770-559-2999. We certainly will take your call. Need to get some calls tonight. Today we had a great day at the, almost at the Georgia General Assembly because my friend tonight, Howard Mosby, is here. But at the DeKalb Commission, today we honored Domestic Violence Awareness Month, Red Ribbon Week, Breast Cancer Prevention, and also Head Start Awareness. We'll tell you a little bit about that as we go deep in the show. We'll take a quick break and we'll be right back with my good friend, Chair of the DeKalb House Delegation, Howard Mosby. Thank you for watching Stan Watson Show. Stay right there. I'll be right back.
It's just the way that you love me. It's just the way that you care. It's just the way that you love me. It's just the way that you care. Late last night, as I finally closed my eyes, I felt you oh so near as I held my pillow tight. No more lonely days, no more sleepless nights. I feel secure in your arms, Lord, I'm glad you're in my life. It's just the way that you love me. Feels so good inside.
Stan Watson Show again. I'm your host, Stan Watson, County Commissioner here in DeKalb County. I hope that you enjoy the show tonight. Call me at 770-559-2999. We will take your call. Well, as I stated, my first guest is my good friend and chairman of the DeKalb House Delegation, Howard Mosby.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
What's going on? Everything good?
Yes, sir.
I understand you guys had a quick meeting in the Government Affairs Committee. Was it yesterday?
Thursday.
Today? Thursday.
No, Tuesday. What's today? Monday. Monday.
It's one day, Monday.
Monday.
They running together.
That's right. That's right.
What happened in the meeting that you can share with us?
Well, basically, these meetings are open to the public. But basically, what we discussed, the process of actually creating a city in the state of Georgia,
Right.
how the Georgia General Assembly is going to
Handle the bills,
handle putting the bills through. What are the nuances around the law in terms of introducing cities? What are the differences between cities and counties? What do they do differently? What are some of the options that we have in order to, if we didn't want to do a city, what are some of the things that we can do?
like townships and all those kind of things?
Well, that's not currently in the law, but whether or not you could do CIDs or
excellent.
city-like.
Yeah, city-like structure.
Yeah.
So do you think that we'll be dominated by cityhood bills in this new General Assembly in 2014?
Well, one of the things that they stated in this committee was that they wanted to get the city stuff done early in
Quickly,
the session. Primarily because we see that the primary races are going to be moved up substantially
That's
in 2014.
May 20th now.
That's correct. So
Okay.
we generally run the General Assembly probably through March.
Mhm.
By the time we can get a budget done through the House and the Senate,
By the time you guys get out, it's time to go to work.
it's time to run for office.
Right.
So they're trying to get out quickly as possible, and they don't want the General Assembly to be, as you well know, dominated by DeKalb County legislation.
And that's what'll happen every time.
That's right.
Look, you're here tonight, and you're also an executive with Grady Hospital Authority. And a lot of people don't know that you're a CPA by trade, a certified CPA at that. I mean, he tells Pam Stevenson and Representative Stevenson and I all the time that he's the CPA in this group, and we should know that. I want to talk to Howard a little bit tonight about the Affordable Health Care Act.
Okay.
And I know people call it Obamacare. Tell us a little bit of basic information about what it is, what it stands for, what's the impetus of what we're trying to get done with this bill.
Well, basically, the Affordable Care Act is what the president put forward was that there are about 45 million people in this country that are uninsured.
Right.
The cost for insurance, in a lot of cases, is unaffordable for many, not only for individuals, but for small businesses as well.
And there are a lot of Americans as well as Georgia that have no insurance.
That is exactly
Okay.
right. So what the law attempts to do is to put everybody inside this pool to drive down the rates for insurance. So if you put 45 million more lives into this pool, you should drive down the rates of the insurance
So
company.
you're saying that if you have this many people in a risk pool, which is what insurance is,
Right.
then the cost for doing business should go down.
That is exactly right. And that is the fundamental issue around the individual shared responsibility portion of the Affordable Care Act. So everyone has a responsibility.
Right.
The Supreme Court ruled that the law was actually legal under the tax code. So a lot of the penalties are in the tax code, not anywhere else.
So they can make it politicized, so to speak. They use it as a tax code, not a political measure. So now you almost have to adhere to it, or you'll be fined. Is that?
Well, here's the deal. If you don't file income
right.
tax, this doesn't apply to you.
Right.
If you don't have income, it doesn't apply to you. If you can't afford to pay the insurance, if it's considered unaffordable, and that is, if your insurance premium is more than 9.5%
Right.
more than your pay, the law doesn't apply to you. The other thing under the tax code, they can't garnish your paycheck. They can't put a lien on your property, and you can't go to jail for owing this penalty.
Okay, that's a good thing. Now talk a little bit about these exchanges and compacts as we get into the nuances of what we're supposed to be doing in 2014. What's a compact and what's an exchange?
Well, they're kind of the same thing. The Affordable Health Insurance Exchange is where the insurance companies will put their products out, and people will go out and be able to shop on the exchange.
This is this pool we was talking about.
The pool of insurance
Right,
companies. Now,
okay.
in the state of Georgia, there are only a few insurance companies that are a part of the exchange. Blue Cross Blue Shield is out there. Humana's out there. Kaiser Permanente is out there
Sure.
with a plan. And these plans have their PPOs, or preferred provider organizations,
right.
point of service organizations, and HMOs.
Right. Health maintenance organization.
Health maintenance organizations.
My old healthcare days.
There you go.
Okay. Right.
And so what happens, each insurance company out there have to provide at least 10 essential benefits on the plan. And that is outpatient services, hospitalization, emergency care services, wellness check,
Right.
Preventative services, mental health care, and a host of things.
But at least 10 of these services should be in the benefit package.
They're gonna be in
and
the
these are things that most Americans should receive, even that have insurance. You talked about wellness, you talk about counseling, mental health, the screenings and those kind of things. These are just standard instruments of insurance that should be in anybody's benefit package.
That is exactly right. Now, in the affordable health care, the plans that are out in the health insurance exchange, there are 4 types of plans.
Okay.
There are bronze, silver, gold, and platinum.
Now, if I don't elect to do one, what will they do to me? Will they elect one for me?
No, they actually, what they'll do, when you go through the process, they actually interview you, and they find out exactly from your income which one of the plans probably will work best for you in order for it to be affordable for you.
Okay.
And this is the only way that the law really applies. It has to be affordable to you. So if you pick a platinum plan, which probably has all the bells and whistles,
Right.
you have
Top of the
visual,
line.
dental, top of the line, you may not be able to afford that plan.
And they can help you decide
Which
today and say this
Right.
is not for you.
This is not for you.
Okay.
So you need to get this bronze plan, which is the bare minimum plan in the marketplace, which covers 60% of the enrollees' total cost.
Okay. Now, in 2014, what do we have to do as citizens if we have to enroll in that, and as a business, more importantly?
Well, okay,
business with an employee census of what, 5? Is it?
all right, so don't let Stan Watson fool you. Okay. No, this is actually because the law actually can be very confusing.
Okay.
So for an individual, starting in January, everyone must have insurance that's filing an income tax return.
That's if you're filing, see the key word.
If you're filing an income tax return,
now if you skip it, you can get by.
you need to have insurance. So if you're earning income, you need to file. You're going to need to have insurance. If you don't have insurance currently right now, you can go out on the exchange and get insurance. If you get insurance by December 15th, you're covered at January 1.
Okay.
If you get it after December 15th, the next time that you will be eligible to have insurance will be January 15th.
Okay.
So it's every 15 days you come online.
So why do you think so many businesses are so against it? I hate
All right,
it.
so we're going to talk about the business side of this. Now, why so many businesses are against this? Depends on what your political bend is. However, on the business side, if you have a business with 50 or more full-time employees, that is that they're making making 2,080 hours a year. That's considered a full-time
job.
employee. That you must provide health insurance for your employees. If you don't, for every employee that you don't provide health insurance for, you're going to get
It's
a penalty.
It won't say it's a fine, it's a penalty.
It'll be a penalty on their tax return when they file their tax return.
That's right.
If you are an employer with 25 employees or less, you actually can qualify for a premium tax credit.
They're not talking about that.
That's right. That's right. They won't talk about
Don't want
that.
to talk about the credit.
Also, if you're an individual, you can't afford to pay your insurance. The Health Insurance Exchange also offers you either a premium subsidy, that means they'll subsidize your payment, or they'll give you a tax credit for your tax bill. If you paid the premium, that when you file your tax return, you get a refundable credit on your tax return.
On your income tax. Now, how is this law paid for, Howard?
Young Skywalker. How is this law paid for? There's a number of different mechanisms in the law to help you that pays for the law.
Okay.
And probably the big one is if you don't have health insurance and you file your income and you file income tax,
penalty.
they're gonna get you a penalty with that. However, there are some individuals that make big money like Stan Watson,
Yeah,
250,000 folk and above.
Howard Mosley.
There are certain provisions in the law that actually tax things that they do that on their incomes. There is an additional tax on Medicare.
Okay.
So if you look at your payroll tax piece, that's 7.65%.
Okay.
Well, that 0.65%, there is a Medicare tax piece in there. And it's 1.45%. Well, that number goes to 1.50% for high income earners. There's also a net investment income tax or capital gains, an additional capital gains tax, 3.8% that pays for that.
And that's extra too. Okay. Well, let me ask you this then. So, explain the law to me. I'm an individual working, and I'm working for this company. They got to provide me insurance versus I have a family of 4. Just give me a synopsis of those two.
All right. Here's the deal. Let's say you work for a company. The company provides health insurance. So let's take a scenario. Usually, most health insurances. Let's say that the insurance premium costs the company $1,000 a month for you and your family. Usually, most companies, as a benefit package, will pick up probably 70% of that amount.
Okay.
So you're paying $300 out of pocket for your health insurance, deducting off your paycheck.
Okay.
If you go out on the exchange and you find out that you can buy insurance cheaper than that,
That is $300.
than the $300, you can actually go out there on the exchange and get the insurance.
Okay. Secure
That's
that.
okay. Now let's say you got on the exchange and the exchange says, you know what, that $300 is actually too much. You probably qualify based on your income for a subsidy. That means that we
won't move you to one of the bronze plan for platinum. We actually offer you a subsidy or a tax credit.
You'll be on the bronze plan, and we'll help you pay for that.
Okay, I didn't know that.
We'll help you pay for that. So
That's
go
good.
from
I know that.
$300, you can go down to $100.
Oh, really?
Well, what will happen with that $200 gap difference? They'll charge the company for that amount of money because they provide an unaffordable option for you.
And that company is upset with us today about the Affordable Health Care Act.
There you go.
Now, tell me this, and it also provides that if my son or your son or a child, parents have children, up until age 26, I believe it is, they can also be on the insurance policy, right? Or the health care policy.
All right, so on the tax return is up to 27.
It's 27, see? CPA, I said 26, okay.
All right, but the law requires that they cannot deny a child until the age of 26.
Okay.
But if you look at when tax returns are filed, there could be a time period. So they moved it up to 27.
27, okay.
On the tax
So in
return.
between.
Right.
So why do you think then that we had so much trouble, when I say we, the federal government, with the enrollment process so quickly? And you and I have been through state enrollment where we changed insurance, changed from a managed or from a regular self-insured to actual, what we call it, a managed care providers. Why do you think we had so much trouble with enrollment?
Well,
We're just theorizing.
Now we're getting into politics. And here's the deal.
Okay.
When the law was created, it was actually created to be pushed out to the states.
Right.
So the states would pick up an exchange and handle the
and
uninsured in their state.
Implemented in that particular state.
Implemented in their
But there were
particular
some states that didn't want to deal with this.
Like Georgia.
Okay, he said that. He state representative. He said Georgia did not want to deal with it
because they felt that the federal government could not afford to do this, so they didn't want to get on the hook to provide insurance for people, and then find out that the federal government pulls back and they're left holding the bag.
Right.
The possibility of that happening is between 0 and less than 0. However, The state decided that they wanted to not participate based on that.
So they what we call it, was it the Medicaid expansion? Explain that to them as well.
All right, so here's the Affordable Care Act. So this is how this whole thing works. In order to put everybody in the plan, out of the 45 million people in this country that have insurance, we know that you couldn't get everybody in the plan because there are some people who are in jail, there are people who are incarcerated who the plan doesn't apply to. And then there are undocumented individuals in the country too.
So there are immigrants that haven't actually signed up and became official U.S. citizens.
All right. So with that being the case, you can't put all the people in the pool.
Right.
So the insurance company, the law requires that. What was the question?
About the Medicaid explain why people didn't want to put it in Georgia.
That the law requires that we do this
all the time. That's what I get.
No, the law requires that only 100% to 400% of the federal poverty guideline people are eligible under this part of the law.
Right.
All right. So what states can do is that they could expand Medicaid to cover that, or you could bring in an insurance company to cover those pieces. Now, in the state of Georgia,
I was like, what did Georgia do? Tell the folks.
In the state of Georgia, Medicaid qualification starts at 138% of the federal poverty guideline. So between 100% and 138%, those individuals have to go out on the marketplace to get insurance.
And go online and figure out what we have.
The state also covers, so Medicaid goes from 138% to 235% of the federal poverty guideline. So above 235 to 400, those people have to go out on the exchange and buy
find
insurance.
some insurance.
So the state could have expanded Medicaid to cover that, or you can go out and exchange. Now, if the state had expanded Medicaid to cover that, what would have happened is that individuals in this state that fell in those guidelines would have gotten state coverage for that. You wouldn't have all of this gobbledygook on the exchanges. People can't sign up online.
Can't enroll. I don't know what's going on in enrollment. I don't know what's going on.
There would have been a lot of benefits for people who have qualified for Medicaid on that side, but this is what we have here, so that's why.
All right, quickly, I got to get out of this segment.
Sure.
Talk about Safety Net Hospital before I let you go. We got about 2 minutes.
Safety Net Hospital.
How the Affordable Health Care Act will affect Safety Net? When I say Safety Net Hospital,
like Grady.
Like Grady.
All right, so Safety Net hospitals are those hospitals that at the end of the day, where no one else had anywhere else to go, they ended up at the bottom of the.
And Grady's not the bottom, ladies and gentlemen.
Not the bottom, but there are options.
Right.
They run out of options, and hospitals like Grady take them in.
Right.
The Affordable Health Care Act, if the state had expanded Medicaid, would have provided Grady with a substantial amount of support for those individuals that come to the hospital that don't have health insurance right now.
Right.
With the state not expanding Medicaid, what's happening now, part of, it gets real technical, but part of funding the law was disproportionate share payments.
Right.
So disproportionate share payments
okay.
in this state are going to be reduced because the state's not expanding Medicaid.
Right.
And my conversations with the White House, they felt that
with the White House, did y'all hear that? Go ahead.
They felt that states that are not expanding Medicaid should receive less dish payments because they need those dollars.
Is it a penalty or is it just something we're doing?
It was just the way that this is all about where you squeeze the balloon.
Okay,
so you squeeze it over here, blow it over here. So in order to fund the law, they were using the disproportionate share payments to help pay for that. Well, with the state not doing that, Grady gets a lot of dish money.
Right.
And when the state cuts back on the dish money, those dollars go away from Grady Hospital.
All right. Quick question for you. We got to take this break.
Sure.
Tell me quickly how it would affect doctors. Just quick soundbite.
Doctors fall in the same boat with Grady in terms of their patients have insurance. They do well if they have in private practice.
Okay.
Doctors that work in hospitals suffer the same payment stresses that the hospital.
Because when we changed the managed care, doctors came to us and said they were not receiving good payments and not payment on time. All right, last thing, just general insurance company, how you think they'll fare with this?
General insurance companies?
Yeah, I mean just regular Aetna, Blue Cross.
No, they're not going to get involved with it. Probably in 2018, you'll probably see most of the insurance companies jump in this when they start seeing how much
effects and how it works and how much
right
reimbursement.
Now, you only have 4 or 5 insurance companies in the state of Georgia.
All right, I want you to give me a number because I think that we need to continue the dialogue about the Affordable Health Care Act. I guess it's been our good friend, Honorable Howard Moses, chair of the DeKalb House delegation. Give me information because I want you to get some calls about the Affordable Health Care Act.
You call my office at 404-656-0287. That's 404-656-0287. 0287.
All right, well, great. Well, look, guys, I hope you enjoyed this segment about the Affordable Health Care Act. Give, I'm going to say Commissioner Moses, that was your dad.
No.
State Representative Howard Moses, call at his office if you want to talk about the Affordable Health Care Act. Do I have a caller? Yes. Okay, caller, you there? We'll let Howard go. Caller, go right ahead. If you go ahead and talk, caller, we can hear you. If you go ahead and talk. Is he there? 770-559-2999. Caller, you there? Go ahead. Okay, should be ready. If the caller's there, go ahead and talk before we let Representative Mosley go.
The change in the law is...
Hello, are you able to hear me, sir?
Yeah, go right ahead. We're listening. We're listening. Go right ahead.
How you doing, Stan and
Good.
Representative Mosley?
Thank you. How you doing, man?
The question I have, I'm listening to both of you all talk, and I'm just a layman here in DeKalb County. And how does anyone expect a layman to understand the Affordable Health Care Bill? I'm sitting here listening, and I'm lost. And I thought I was pretty intelligent. And
I'm really intelligent.
Mosley got to talk, and I'm like, what? I don't know. So I don't even know what it is. Still don't know what it is. I'm just going for it because President Obama wants it. And I'm just talking for people in my neighborhood.
Right.
And I'm just keeping it real, man. If there's any way to make this a little simpler so we can understand, please help us out. I know you can help us out, Commissioner Stan.
Thank you,
and
sir.
Representative Howard Mosley, Money Man.
Money man.
Well, first of all, we'd be glad to come out to your community and do a presentation out
That'd
there.
be excellent.
But secondly, like I said, the law is based in the tax code. The tax code is already complicated by itself.
Right.
So a lot of the nuances in the law have to deal with how do you bring about penalties based on a tax code. So a lot of the things are written around the tax code.
Right.
And so that's what makes it a little convoluted. So you really have to understand how the tax code works. Then healthcare by itself, healthcare financing is confusing by itself as well.
It is.
So I can understand the callers.
But we need to
trepidation,
may be able to do future workshops and enlighten the community.
Absolutely.
What I'll try to do then, if I can get you and Representative Pam Stevens to come back maybe the first Tuesday in November, if it's not a holiday, I think it's not a holiday, and maybe we dedicate at least 30 minutes of the show, if not the whole hour, on the Affordable Health Care Act, so we can take questions here in here in DeKalb County to make it work. What do you think?
It'll be my pleasure to do so.
All right. Well, Nicole, if you're watching, and Kelly, if you're watching, we're looking for the first Tuesday in November to have a show strictly on the Affordable Health Care Act, so we can take some time, explain and have some poster boards up with different definitions, that kind of thing. How about that? All right. Well, good. Thank you for coming by, my friend.
Thank you, sir.
If I'm ever out of town, you're going to have the show to stay and watch the show, okay? We'll make it work.
Ready.
All right. We'll make it work. We'll take a quick break, and I promise you we'll be right back.
It's just the way that you love me. It's just the way that you care. It's just the way that you love me. It's just the way that you care. Late last night, as I finally closed my eyes, I felt you oh so near as I held my pillow tight. No more lonely days, no more sleepless nights. I feel secure in your arms, Lord, I'm glad you're in my life. It's just the way that you love me. Feels so good inside. It's just the way that you care. I know you'll be right there. It's just the way that you love me. Lord, I'm glad you're in my life. Ooh, it's just the way you gave me peace that the world can't understand. You gave me joy, and the world can't comprehend. No, you gave me life to live abundantly. Feels so good to be loved by you, oh God, I feel so free. It's just the way that you love me. It feels so good inside. It's just the way that you care. Ooh, I know that you'll be there. It's just the
Tuning into the live call-in show for the Stan Watson Show. Call us tonight at 770-559-2999. We'll take your call. I hope that you enjoyed this segment. Again, we're going to try to do the first Tuesday in November a entire show about the Affordable Health Care Act, so we'll make sure that it works tonight. If you need, again, any information on that, call our office at 404-371-3681, and we'll direct you straight to the CPA and State Representative Howard Mosby. Well, my next guest is Mr. Dominique Mitchell. He's a former A&R director for Universal Records.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Pleased to meet you.
What's going on?
How's everything?
Everything's wonderful.
He would say what's going on. He's music director. What's going on? Marvin Gaye. Hello.
Nah.
I'm messing with him. Okay.
No, that's good.
How long have you been in the industry?
31 years.
31 years. How did you get?
Since the Kid and Play days.
Oh my goodness, Kid and Play. You started with Kid and Play?
Yes.
Was that one of the first groups you were introduced to, or you were helped, or what?
Actually, we're all from Elmhurst, Queens.
Okay.
And you had Kid and Play, Kwame, Salt and Pepper, all around there. Martin Lawrence, and I just grew up watching them. And one day, Play said, "Come on tour with me," and it was on.
Oh really? Now what did you do on tour for them?
Oh, everything. From
Road manager,
road,
rowdy, everything.
Pick up stuff, throw stuff around, clean up stuff.
You learned the business the right way.
The right way.
Okay,
from
good.
the ground up.
Now, how did you grow up in the industry? You say you started out as throwing stuff to rowdies and cleaning up and all those kind of things. How did you progress through your system to get where you are today?
Actually, before that, my father played trumpet, and
Okay.
he played with a lot of great jazz artists.
So you was from a musical family, so to speak.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
And one day, I saw the music industry, and I kept saying, "Why is everyone going broke?" And my father always said, "Learn the business, not the music." And from that, I just learned the business.
You sound like it's in sports, learn the business and not the sport.
Right.
So now you're saying learn the business, not the music.
Right.
There are a lot of musicians and sports figures, celebrities, so to speak, that have, matter of fact, the show last night on VH1 about TLC talks about the industry and how people make money, but then don't have money. Kind of explain it to our audience how that happens.
Well, it's kind of funny that you said that. I was actually Left Eye's bodyguard for 5 years.
See, he knows everybody. Okay,
So,
we got to hook up tonight, y'all.
Left Eye actually taught me about development. Marvin McIntyre, I worked up with him, and he did from New Edition and all that. And I have a development boot camp in DeKalb County.
Good. In our county?
In DeKalb
Oh,
County.
man, I'm going to put a star by your name. In
Yeah,
DeKalb County.
for
Okay,
the
right
past
there.
15 years.
15 years? Why I ain't never heard about it?
I
What's
don't
going
know.
on?
See?
Okay, where do you generally hold a boot camp?
Stevenson Middle School.
I know it's Stevenson Middle School.
Right in the
Dr.
football
Brian
field.
Thomas over there?
Yes,
See
yes.
there? You think I know that?
Yeah,
Okay, see,
I-
I know where everybody is. I didn't know you were there.
See? Now you know.
Yeah, now I know. Okay, all right. So now tell me how did she develop or told you how this business really works and why we sometimes don't make money?
Left Eye was always good with paperwork. People just didn't understand.
You mean attention to
how-
detail?
Attention to detail.
Okay.
And she settled. One thing Left Eye taught me was when you settle, you get less than what you settle for. So basically, when she settled before the girls, you already see they went bankrupt and
Right,
did all
right.
of this, and they learned the business. Fortunately, she passed away before she could teach anybody else. But we lost so many people. We lost Aaliyah, we lost Left Eye, Biggie, Tupac, and Tina, and all these people I was blessed to work with. And the business is all about just knowing your paperwork, getting the right attorneys, getting the right people, and stop using your mama and daddy.
Okay, so the deal is then, what you're telling me is that don't use your mom and dad. I got that part. But is there a certain type of attorney that we need? I mean, you got all different kinds of attorneys. Should attorneys have some kind of administrative skills in the industry, entertainment lawyer? I mean, who do we need?
Tanya Mitchell Graham, my attorney. But
Let's throw that out.
go ahead,
Okay,
throw that out.
we'll charge $5 for that one. Okay.
Litigators. You need
Litigators.
people who are in the courtroom.
Okay.
There's a lot of people who do great business and great paperwork, but they never went into the courtroom.
And so they do the paperwork one time. We got to sue somebody. They got to do some litigation. They can't sit in first chair or second chair.
No, now you have to actually hire an attorney to do their paperwork
Right.
along with other paperwork.
And that's not okay. So litigate. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I know there are a lot of great entertainment lawyers in Atlanta.
Yes.
And so I just wanted to ask that question.
Yes.
Now, what should an artist do? I mean, before we talk about your boot camp, and a young artist coming up want to get in the business, all of a sudden has a CD that's hot, it came from underground or wherever, but now they've been signed by a record label. Where are we now? Tell me what I should be doing. Just sign my record label.
Depending on what label, get your tombstone ready.
Depending on what label.
At this
okay.
point in the genre, I
Okay.
tell a whole lot of people, you do not really want to sign to a major company.
Oh, really?
Do it on your own.
Oh,
Some of the
really?
greatest
That's
people who
awesome.
know me in the music industry know I always keep it real. I don't
Okay.
sugarcoat nothing.
Okay.
If you are trying to get into the music industry, get your own company. If you
okay.
actually look and study the music history,
Okay.
I think
Excellent.
85% of the music artists came from independent. Think about
Independent labels.
it.
I
Motown,
got
some
you,
of the
I got you,
greatest
yeah.
independent folks from there.
I got
The
you, I
best
hear you.
in the world
I hear you,
was
okay.
independent.
Okay.
Jay-Z,
Right,
independent.
okay.
Puffy, independent.
Okay.
Cash Money, independent.
So you're saying start your own label.
Yeah.
And if you have to subsidize by selling your label to the big boys, that's how you can make your money.
Russell Simmons,
Okay,
independent.
I got you. Okay. All right. Now explain this, because I was looking at TLC a little bit last night, and I had to turn because of the football game. I'm sorry with TLC. But anyway, they talked about the percentage of money on a CD or a record. Talk a little bit about that. I mean, you don't have to be exact, but talk a little bit how that works in the industry for our young people out there that may be watching.
Well, it's kind of different now because when TLC was going on and NSYNC and all of those folks, there wasn't internet.
Okay.
So
Oh,
now
okay.
you have digital downloading for $10, $12 single for $2.99.
That's more money, isn't it?
If you know how to do it.
Okay.
There's a lot of kids out there that are peddling CDs and don't even understand about SoundScan, about that little barcode on the back. You
Tell
need
me
that-
what it is again.
every time you buy a CD, there's a barcode on the back.
Okay.
And it scans. That goes to digital. That goes to Billboard. And you might see on Billboard it says independent music artists. They collect record sales through that barcode.
That's the data.
That's that data. So all your kids out there who are just going out and just, hey, you selling
CDs.
7,000 CDs a month, making no money and no data, and you're wondering why nobody wants you.
And so what would they do? Would they have to figure out a way to upload this data, keep this data somewhere, deposit it somewhere?
Technology is so good. If you have a smartphone, you can go on your smartphone. You can get your little sound scan from Walmart, put it on there, and sound scan your own stuff.
Excellent. Okay. Now, what about the industry? When people say they were stealing songs, we're going on and downloading songs from artists and not paying for them. How does that work? How does that hurt the industry?
They've been stealing songs
A long time,
for
yeah.
a long time. That ain't nothing.
When
It's
it,
just
when,
an
it,
upgrade.
when it was a record.
When
Yeah,
it was a
record, they
you
were
know what I'm
stealing.
saying?
Yeah.
There's a lot of people who would love to have some publishing.
Right.
Basically, if you with ASCAP, BMI, one of these situations, you don't have to worry about that. Just copyright. Go to
Copyright your work.
Copyright your work.
Copyright your work.
Copyright
okay.
your work. You have
Gotcha.
nothing to worry
Yeah.
about.
If somebody come in and steal it.
And yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's basically what they're doing. What would you say to a new artist? They say they doing what you say. We went to Walmart, got our little barcode. We're doing something on YouTube and those kind of things. But now we want to figure out how to get on the road. How do you tell them to get on the road?
First of all, I always say, not everybody can be a music artist.
Okay.
Somebody got to do other things. Okay? Somebody
him
got to
already.
fix refrigerators.
Right.
Somebody got to fly planes.
Right.
Somebody got to do something.
So you don't have to be the singer all the time.
You don't have to be the singer. all
Out
the time.
front. You can make money in the backside.
You could build guitars. They make a lot of money. Not everybody. Just because you're in the music industry doesn't mean you have a music ear.
Right.
So a lot of
You
people,
real, man. You
no,
real.
Listen, no, let me tell you this now. A lot of people go on these, the difference between today's show and everything else is if you look at American Idol and all of these, there's no development. For you to do what you had to do, you had to study.
Yeah.
You had to actually study.
Yeah, that's
Study
true.
and study.
Yep, to
These
get
people
here.
don't study. It's quick fast. It's
That's how they
no
want
Apollo.
it. They want it real quick.
No, you got to be developed.
You gotta
and
work
if
at
you
it.
actually look at all these reality shows, they never gave you a Michael Jackson. They never gave you a Usher. They never
true.
gave you a Beyonce.
That's
they
true.
never gave you a Diana Ross. I'm not calling them mediocre,
Yeah, I know,
but
yeah,
they're
yeah,
not
yeah.
superstars.
Right.
Because you're getting it too fast. It's a show.
Right,
And
it's a-
from
it's
the
a reality show.
It's a reality show.
Right.
And then when reality comes, you can't hang.
Because most of the people that have been in those reality shows, where are they now?
Exactly.
We don't see them on TV. We don't see them
No.
on our screens anywhere. I mean, just okay.
That's
good
just
point.
reality
Yeah.
shows.
All right. Before I let you go, tell me about your artist boot camp at Stevenson Middle School. Tell me what it's about.
Music Artist Boot Camp is about development.
Okay.
It's about development. We have this young lady right now. Her name is Carlette Martin. 54 years old, been abused. I started a new label called The Gospel Rhythm.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes, it's
Okay. You
through
came out of R&B and we're in the gospel
Well,
now.
God calls you in all sort of ways.
All kinds of ways, anytime.
We start from the floor and rise on
That's
up.
right. That's it. We fall down, but we get
fall
up.
down, we get back up.
That's right.
So this young lady that we've discovered and developed for 3 years, God has, she's so beautiful right now.
Awesome. She's gonna
But
be with us tonight, too.
Yeah, she's been abused for 10 years through her
really?
relationships. When you see her, you're gonna be like, no, but this woman has been through hell and back.
Okay.
And we started this label so we can actually, a lot of gospel artists run away from their testimonies. So here in DeKalb County, we
Here in
started
DeKalb
this
County.
gospel label.
I'm gonna be with you
this
now.
development boot camp.
That's right.
And this whole reality of just music in DeKalb County.
I love it.
Yeah, so that's the reason why we're
Okay.
here.
So you're at Stevenson Middle School. I might have to get you over every now and then over to the Porter Sanford Center to perform and just show us what you got over
Let's
there.
do it.
And maybe bring some artists that we're trying to develop and just have a good
We
time.
have some of the best
Okay.
ones.
All right. Now, is there a cost for the artist boot camp?
If they come through, you know.
Okay. So if you come and say you with Stan Watson, we'll get the first time. All right. Now, if we're talking about the first 10, the man got to eat. Okay. So the first 10, he said he'll let you come free if you think you're a struggling artist and want to make it work. I got that from struggling artists. Y'all like that? Then you go the first 10. We'll see what we have from Mr. Dominic Mitchell. Is that okay?
Don't come if you're not ready.
Don't come if you're not ready. All right. Well, give us your contact information over here in camera 3. Tell us how we can get in contact because I think this is something very great for us to looking forward to in DeKalb County. And I like it because it's in DeKalb County. So I'm going to have to help him now because he's in the home county.
Appreciate that.
Okay.
Very simple. Hit me on Facebook, Dominic Mitchell, DOMONIQUE. That's DOMONIQUE, Mitchell. Facebook.
Okay.
That's
All
where
right.
to find
And
me.
then, do you have a company or you call it just Dominic Mitchell? What's your company?
Well, my company's called Executive Decision Enterprise.
Okay. You want to tell them that one more time?
Executive Decision Enterprise. We have subsidiaries up under that called Gospel Rhythm Music and Countryside Music. I have a country music label and a
Excellent.
gospel label in
man.
DeKalb County.
Yeah, and you work a lot with Tamika Webb?
Yes.
I'm praying for the Lord in
I
the name of
know.
Jesus. That's our good friend, the
That's-
talent
I
director. I'm
love
just playing
you,
to make
Tamika.
mwah.
Just love
You know, I
you.
love you. I'm just playing. All right. Well, I guess it's been Mr. Dominic Mitchell.
Jesus' name.
In Jesus' name. It's been Mr. Dominic Mitchell. He's the former A&R director for Universal Records right here in DeKalb County. He has an artist boot camp located at Stevenson Middle School right in DeKalb County. So we're going to try to help him the next time he's doing something with the artists. And the first 10 people that calls him and say, we saw you on the Stan Watson show, on the first 10 now. We counted 1, 2, you know what I'm saying? Then we will make sure that your fee is waived for this boot camp. All right? Is that
Don't
good?
come if you're
Man.
ready. This ain't no reality show.
Thanks for coming by. We're going to take a quick break. You're watching the Stan Watson show. Stay right there.
It's just the way that you love me. It's just the way that you care. It's just the way that you love me. It's just the way that you care. Late last night, as I finally closed my eyes, I felt you oh so near as I held my pillow tight. No more lonely days, no more sleepless nights. I feel secure in your arms, Lord. I'm glad you're in my life. It's just the way that you love me. Feel so good inside. It's just the way that you care. I know you'll be right there. It's just the way that you love me. Lord, I'm glad you're in my life. Ooh, it's just the way. You gave me peace that the world can't understand. You gave me joy and the world can't comprehend. No, you gave me life to live abundantly.
Live call-in show for the Stan Watson Show. Remember tonight, the number is 770-559-2999. We will take your call. I hope you enjoyed that segment. Mr. Dominic Mitchell has a artist boot camp located at Stevenson Middle School. We're going to try to help him to see what we can ship his way because we may have some talent in DeKalb County that's not been seen, that is waiting to be discovered and do the right thing and be able to work and develop their talents. Well, my next guest, I've known since he was 12 years old, believe it or not. I used to coach him in basketball and baseball, he and his 3 brothers. and one played outfield, one was a catcher. And what your other brother play?
Everywhere else.
Everywhere else. Okay, so that's Mr. Marquez Frazier. Welcome to Stan Watson Show.
How you doing?
He's a young man now. Has gone to school. Had a master's degree at Georgia State.
Georgia State Public Policy.
Yeah, he's done it. I mean, I remember when he's 12. That means I'm getting old. So I haven't known him since he was 12. The season, okay.
Season.
I'm getting old. I'm gonna tell you that. The other morning I was like, oh my goodness. But you have a organization, Together We Accomplish More.
That's correct.
And it's called, is it TWAM or TWAM?
TWAM.
TWAM. TWAM. Okay.
Yep.
The acronym is TWAM. Together We Accomplish More.
That's
And so,
correct.
what do you do with development of our youth and young adults in DeKalb?
So I'll actually answer that by giving you the history.
Okay.
It started in actually 2003 when I
Okay.
was a student at Martin Luther King Junior High School.
Okay.
And what it was back then, it was an opportunity for us to get together in roundtable discussion and talk about life issues.
Okay.
At that age, you think the world is so big and you want to do it all.
You know everything.
You know everything.
Right.
So
Right.
we just wanted to figure it out and have conversations amongst ourselves. So right now what I'm doing specifically is doing some consulting work around
Okay.
the development of youth programs
Okay.
and continuing to sort of foster those ambitions of young people to be more socially active.
Okay.
So what that means specifically is that there's a couple of student organizations that I'm helping to coach and develop in DeKalb County.
Life skills, life culture,
skills,
okay.
exactly, and also around education, health,
Okay.
and culture.
Excellent.
Yep.
Now, you started at Martin Luther King. Are there any other schools that you're affiliated with?
I am Westlake High School in
Okay.
Camp Creek. That's
Okay,
actually
Westlake is
full-
good.
Yep, yep.
Now, how do you get involved with these students? How do you approach the school system to allow you in the schools to do what you do?
Right. So MLK has been most welcoming to the organization.
That's your old school.
That's
It's
my
a high
old
school,
They know me and have a great relationship. But Westlake, it was a bit different.
Okay.
So it was an opportunity for me to meet the new staff there, have the introductory conversations, and find out what the students were interested in. After that, I got connected with a few colleagues and friends of mine who actually are over there now. Mr. Adams and Miss Oliver, who I knew formerly at MLK as well.
Okay.
And so it was an opportunity.
Relationships.
Relationships. So networking, and that's a part of what we teach the youth as
Excellent.
well.
All right, talk about the three. We'll go invert them and go back the other way. What do you teach the kids about culture?
Culture. So when we talk about culture, we talk about community. So they're one and the same. So we talk about what it means to preserve proper culture. So I believe that there's some deviance towards what it means to be a neighbor within a neighborhood, and that's a word.
Know
that
what community means.
Know
all
what
kind of things.
community
That's
means.
good. Okay.
Exactly. So if you think about it, people just live next to each other right now. We're not necessarily
We live in
neighborly.
subdivisions, not communities
We
anymore.
live in subdivisions.
Subdivisions. Okay.
Subdivisions.
All right. Right.
Operative word,
Right.
division. So we teach them about how to be more respectful. The name Together We Accomplish More, it's an idea that you can work together collectively to achieve greater goals. So with that, you need to understand who your neighbor is
That's
and
right.
how you can work. Similarly to the sorts of things that you continue
Yeah,
to do
all
in
the time.
camp.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. Talk about health then.
Okay, health. So there's an organization based out of Missouri who's doing some wonderful things here. Community Initiatives is the name of the organization, but they have a screening called Weight of the Nation. So
Okay.
it's an opportunity.
Weight of the Nation.
Weight of the Nation.
like that,
It
okay.
talks about the obesity epidemic, and it talks about what youth are doing to sort of preserve and act against those challenges. But
Why do
specific-
you think that's so important though in this day and age in schools? About
health? Oh, because well, health is the cornerstone of who we are.
Right.
If you're
But they're
not
taking
healthy-
so much out of our schools that relates to health. You know, you remember when PE back in the day when you had physical education?
Right,
all
and I
those
remember playing basketball.
Right, all those
at-
things
at
with
the
me, yeah,
parks,
right, exactly.
So the thing, I don't know why they're taking it, but before those reasons, SWAM exists. That's
Right.
why we're here, to
Excellent.
address those needs in
Excellent.
youth. Yep.
What about education?
Education. So I'm big on people finding purpose in life. I'm big on people acting out of their purpose, and we are developing what we call 20TWAM, the year of getting out your dreams. And it's a friend of mine, actually, he's going through the process right now and helping me do some work with the youth. But it's an idea that kids should be purposefully led in life. So it's not just a decision about money. It's about the things that you feel meaningfully led to
You
do.
said purposely led.
Purposely
Have a
led.
purpose in your life.
Have a
where we're
purpose
going.
in your life.
Now, who helps you with your organization? How many you have on staff or your friends that help you?
All right, so there's about 4 or 5 core people, and I would like to just Dion, Justin,
Give 'em a shout out, Dion.
Sharice, Eddie, Mika, Mandel, Maxwell.
Mandel is on it too?
Maxwell,
Mandel is his brother. See,
Malcolm Jr.
Malcolm
the
Jr., oh
family,
my goodness, okay,
It's a family
The
affair.
family affair,
It's a
okay.
family affair. Makiva as well. So
Okay.
it's totally a tight-knit network of people. And right
Okay.
now, a lot of them are doing some volunteer work for the organization, and I'm most
Excellent.
grateful to them for all that they continue to do. But we're a network that holds each other accountable to the work and
Uplift each other.
uplift
sound
each
like.
other. And my brother Victor, he's actually moved out to North Dakota, but he
Okay.
actually works with
North
You
Dakota.
heard me correctly.
Okay, I saw your brother in Charlotte, but now you tell me you got a brother in North Dakota.
Yeah,
I won't be
my
going to
brother
North
from
Dakota.
another- my
Well, I
brother
know
from
from another
another.
mother, I
Right,
know,
got you,
but I'm
right,
not
right.
going to North Dakota.
Okay, got you.
All right, well, look, before I let you go, I want to say to the public that this is a very genuine young man. I've known him since he's 12. He's very educated. He works hard in the community. He's trying to make a responsible change and try to influence the life of our youth and make sure that they become productive citizens. So anything that you can help him with his organization, I certainly would make sure that you give him a call or call my office to make sure that you get his information because he's on the move, he's on the go, and he's on his way up. Before I let you go, Mr. Frazier, I want you to look in this camera and give them your information to how they can contact you and give a shout out to anybody you want to before we let you go.
Okay, great. So I would like for you all to contact me at info@togetherweaccomplishmore.com. We also have a YouTube channel, Together We Accomplish More, and I would like to give a big shout out to my parents, my family, and all my loved ones. Thank you. Wow.
Excellent. All right. Well, you watch the Stay and Watch show. We'll be right back. We got a great singer. We got Carlette, the one that Dominic Mitchell was talking about. We're going to let her sing. So stay right there. We got a great treat for you. We'll be right back.
It's just the way that you love me. It's just the way that you care. It's just the way that you love me. It's just the way that you care.
Late last night, as I finally closed my eyes, I felt you oh so near as I held my pillow tight. No more lonely days, no more sleepless nights. I feel secure in your arms, Lord. I'm glad you're in my life.
It's just the way that you love me.
Feels so good inside.
It's just the way that you care.
I know you'll be right there.
It's just the way that you love me.
Lord, I'm glad you're in
It's
my
just the way that you
life. Ooh, it's just the way you gave me peace that the world can't understand. You gave me joy and the world can't comprehend. No, you gave me life to live abundantly. Feels so good to be loved by you, oh God, I feel so free.
It's just the way that you love me.
It feels so good inside.
It's just the way that you care.
Ooh, I know that you'll be there.
It's just the way that you love me.
It's just the way.
It's just the way that
It's
you
just the
care.
way. Just the way. Ooh, I
like the way you did when you did what you did to
over
me.
and over again.
You changed my heart and then set me free.
The KL Food and Music Festival this Saturday at North Lake. We had a little bit of rain, but it was great. People came out with raincoats, had their umbrellas out. We had about 45 acts of international flavor. We had great food. We had prizes. We even raffled a trip to the Bahamas. So you guys missed a great time over at North Lake Mall. But guess what? We're going to do it again next year, and we'll make it work for you as well. As you know, we're going to be moving our community cabinet meeting again in November to Tucker High School. So everybody out in Tucker will be coming on November the 2nd at Tucker High School. We have a great presentation from the Tucker CID, the Tucker Historical Society, and we have a choir singing. We have the colors presented by the Tucker ROTC unit. So guess what? I need for all of you guys to come to Tucker, and we should make it work. Well, I hope that you got those announcements. If you didn't, you can always give me a call at 404-371-3681. That's our office, and we'll make sure that we take care of it. And then also make sure you like me on Facebook to make it work. Well, guess what? I have a great singer, Miss Carlette. Hi, Miss Carlette. How you doing? Tell me why you just got Carlette, not your whole name. You
It's
just wanna
Carlette Martin.
Oh, you don't have to tell me. It's Carlette Martin. Now,
Yes.
where are you from originally?
I'm from Mobile, Alabama,
And
born
how
and
long you
raised.
been in Atlanta?
About 3 years.
About 3 years. And do you enjoy singing? How long you been singing? What's going on?
I love singing. I've been singing all my life,
your
basically.
life?
Started off when I was a little girl.
Okay.
And I've been chasing music ever since.
Chasing music out there.
All the way to God.
Do you have most people come on, they say they have a story to tell in their music. You have a story to tell in your music?
Yes, I do. I have a lot of stories, and
Okay.
it's my testimonies. All the songs that I wrote
Okay.
on this album called Unbreakable is about my testimony.
Okay, now this song, you wrote all the songs on the CD yourself?
Just about
Well,
most
that's
of them,
awesome.
yes.
So you're an
yes.
accomplished writer as well?
Yes, I am.
Okay, now what type of music? Is it contemporary? Is it gospel? Is it R&B? You got to tell hip-hop, jazz? You got to talk about what
We
you're
call
singing.
it gospel rhythm. It's
Gospel
because it's a
rhythm.
rhythm of a lot of,
Okay.
of different types of music.
Okay.
And so, but there's not just me on the album. There are quite a few well-known artists as well.
Okay.
Tony Terry, we have
Yes.
Dave Tolliver.
Tony
we-
Terry's been on the show? Okay.
yes. Okay. We have G from Silk.
Okay.
We have Kipper Jones,
Oh, you got
and we
some
have
good
yes.
people
So we
on
have
that.
Chip. We have
Okay.
lots of great musicians
Excellent.
and producers
now, what are
and
some
writers.
of the venues, if I can ask you, that you performed in? You say it's kind of gospel rhythm, so are you in church or you at other supper clubs? Where are you performing?
Actually, I've been in churches and supper clubs.
Okay. And what's some of the supper clubs?
We were at the Moonlight Lounge.
Okay.
We've been to Cafe 290
Yes.
in Sandy Springs.
Okay.
And I have been to a few churches and organizations as well.
Okay.
So we have some charity organizations that we're about to be invited to as well
Excellent.
coming up.
Do you have anywhere that you're going to be in the next couple of weeks you'd like to share with our audience, just in case they would like to come and see you?
Actually, yes,
'Cause I know
there's
you're going to
this.
sing real good tonight.
It's
so
a
I'm already
Ronald. It's a
prophesizing
Ronald
you're gonna do
McDonald's. We have a charitable organization. They're putting on this beautiful organization for children, and that's November the 8th.
Okay.
So there's more information, and I'll give you that.
Excellent. Well, give us your phone number so we know how to contact you, or your
Okay.
website.
You can contact me on Facebook, Carlette Unbreakable. Again, the last name is Martin, and you can also look me up. You can also check me out I have a Gmail. It's Carlette Unbreakable, so I just keep it very simple.
Excellent. That's wonderful. All right.
At
Now, the
Gmail.
song you're going to do for us tonight is?
It's called Just Leave.
And this is one that you also penned? You wrote this
Yes.
yourself?
Yes.
All right, so Just Leave. Well, ladies and
Yes.
gentlemen, without further ado, we have a great singer, because everybody tell me they heard it already. Let's present Carlette.
Why you always put your hands on me? Then you every moment keep threatening me. She says over and over again. So enraged you're losing your mind, staring with those enemy eyes. Once full of God's passion, now I know it's all a lie. He's standing there holding you tight, but you know it's not for love, and you can hardly breathe. Your face is turning so blue. Now what do? It's all up to you. He says he won't do it again. Turn around and leave. It feels like heaven. The rest of the week you're living in hell. But that should tell you who you're living with. I don't have to say his name. She's an angel. The rest of the week you're living in hell. Call Jesus. Just believe. Every time your friends come over, we start to argue. Over and over again. Accusations fly, me and your best friend. So full of confusion, the story of my life. Holding you tight, but you know it's not for love, and you can hardly breathe. Your face is turning so blue. Now what do? It's all up to you. He says he won't do it again. Turn around on Sunday morning. Feels like heaven. The rest of the week you're living in hell. So that should tell you who you're living with. And I don't have to say his name. She's an angel. The rest of the week you're living in hell. Oh Jesus. Just, yes, I've been there, confessing so you can hear what you're going through. I didn't listen to the whisper of God. God sent his only son to die for you. He would never send a man to kill you. Leave and walk away. Don't you look back, no. You need to push on forward. No, pressing on. You gotta keep pressing on.
Thank you.
That's leave. That's awesome, Carlette. We will make sure that we let her sing a little bit before we leave. Thank you so much. I hope you guys have a great week coming up this week. You can also see me this Saturday. I'll be at Chapel Hill Park, which is off of Lehigh and Flakes Mill. They have a fall picnic and fall festival. That's Chapel Hill Park, right off of Lehigh and Flakes Mill. I'll be over there in a parade or something. But anyway, I know Linda Cotton Taylor better tell me that I did a great job in announcing it. So there'll be a lot of people there this Saturday. Well, if you need to call me, again, you can call me at 404-371-3681. We're going to go out with Carla. Can you sing us out tonight?
Yes, I will.
Enjoyed that. And that was a little tell. I was listening to what was going on in that song.
Oh, yes.
All right. And we can get that song or get the CD where?
Coming up, Sony is releasing it.
Sony's releasing it?
Yes, they'll release it 2014. So
2014.
yes, it's
Oh,
coming up.
you're awesome. Okay. You want to sing us out? You want to do the same song? You want to do the other songs?
I'll do another song.
Track 2?
Yes.
Okay, all right. All right, let's go to work. I'll see you next week. Have a great week. Thanks for watching the Stay and Watch Show. We'll be back next week.
Let's go. Have you ever hurt so bad? Nothing seems to ease the pain. Sadness, lonely night, hard to feel from all the shame. I used to wonder, is it worth it? Should I keep on living? Am I going crazy? Until I gave it all my life, I confess. That moment I surrendered. Lord, I surrender. Lord, take it all. Never ever be the same. 'Cause you are the truth. Oh, 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 oh. Have you felt lost and lonely? So naive, didn't know yourself. Have you felt depression set in and tried to keep you company? When I lost it all, felt so angry, started the game of blame. Everyone but selfish me, until I gave it all my life. I confess, that moment I surrendered. Lord, take it all. I'll never be the same. No, 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 no. 'Cause I love you. Oh, 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 oh. All my life to you. And I'll never, ever be the same. My heart and soul. Lord, I ask your forgiveness for letting you And no one else can make me feel the same. I surrender.
Thank you.